Hello on another day from Afghanistan. Now, when Laden came to look at the land with the then owner, she tells me she came up onto these rocks where I'm currently standing and looked down on our reed bed at the well. And she tells me that she looked down at the well. The only thing is, I don't know exactly where she was standing and where the well is. She told me it was next to the spring, which isn't that helpful. So the spring is round about here, or the standing water area at least. However, if we look round here, we will see, remember that pipe that the neighbours had put in? That's the pipe about there. That runs down, sort of disappears into the undergrowth somewhere down here, and then we've got chunky big rocks and then the start of the reeds. So in my mind, logically, the well is going to be, let me just move a little bit, make it clearer, somewhere down in this area. So my plan today is to put a path through to the base of the rocks and then go left or right, probably go right first towards the corner to see if I can find the well. Reeds are extremely dense, and Laden says the well was only covered with sort of branches and bits of wood and whatnot, so I'll need to be careful I don't fall into it if it is there. So what do you think? Is Indiana Andrew going to be able to hack his way through all this, find the mythical well without killing himself? Let's see. Okay, I've made a bit of a path. I have to have a confession. I switched over from the scythe to my strimmer. It's a lot, well, it's quicker. I wouldn't say a lot quicker, but it's quicker with the strimmer and a bit easier. But the rocks are just here. They start there. So no sign of a well so far. I've turned to the right and starting to work my way along. Just get my rake handle, I can make it a bit wider. I've got these humongous looking reeds in front of me, and you can see in here, the water starts again. So I don't know if that means there's more than one spring. It's really dense with reeds, sorry. So, and it's quite wet, which is a good thing. I'm going to head in that direction. After I started, I thought, oh, not too worried about tortoises because I'll see them. But I thought, what about nesting birds, reed warblers or things like that? I don't know if we get those here, but that type of bird, if you know your birds, little birds which make nests in amongst reeds. I have had a little cursory walkthrough just to check, and I found a nest, but it's old. Well, I'm confident it's old. There's no birds flying around. You'd expect the birds to be making a bit of a fuss if they were here. But there is a little nest there. Nice intricate thing. No eggs in it. So I've had a look out for more of those. And if there are, then I'll stop what I'm doing because I don't want to disturb any nesting birds. Stop for a break. No camp today, just the cab for a bit of shade. Oh, it's hot. Anyway, this is slower progress than I had anticipated. I'm not going to finish the search today, but let's see what the temperature is. It says 32 degrees. That's in the shade, obviously. Goodness knows what it is on the top of my head. Anyway, it's hot and I'm getting rather bothered. So I'm going to have a time for a break, drink of water, and then I'll crack on again. This well is quite crucial to our plans. Obviously we'll need to irrigate any crops that we're going to grow, so the well would be most useful for that. I'm not convinced there's enough water coming from the spring to rely on the spring for irrigation. And even if there is a well there, there's no guarantee there's water in it. It could be dry. But let's walk one step at a time. Let's see if we can find it first, and then we can assess what condition it's in and whether there's any water there and whether we'll be able to utilise it. If we can't find the well or it's dry, I don't know what we do, whether we can get a borehole dug. I think I'll need to investigate that. I think that you might need permission, or I presume you would need permission. There's a lot of agriculture around, a lot of irrigation, so water management is probably tightly controlled, and you know that there might be conditions as well as cost, obviously. So we'll see. Let's keep going and see if we can find this mythical well. You can see bits of standing water here. Well, the boot's actually going quite deep into that. That's good news. Finally. Oh, I like that. Nice and deep. Oh, that's cheered me up a lot. Doesn't seem to go on too long, but I think that could be dug out. I might just get the spade and clear a bit of that and let it settle, see what it looks like after a little while. I think that's worth a little detour, and I'll do that. So first thing I'm going to do, see how far I can stick this rake handle in, see how deep it'll go. Not that deep actually. So about a foot. Still not too bad. Oh. Well, whilst waiting for this puddle to clear, or this hole to clear, I've just had a wander through the reeds here just to see, I walked through checking for birds' nests, and just seeing if there's anything of interest. And I can't see any sign of anything that would lead me to think the well's there. I'm getting quite close to the small lane that goes up the hill to the neighbour's hut. So what I might do is, rather than battle my way through with these reeds trying to cut the path all the way, I might just go up the lane and work my way from there back into it, come from the other side. It's probably going to be a bit quicker and easier. Let's go and investigate that. I'm not sure if you can make it out, but this water looks like it's full of, I think it's mosquito larvae. Fly larvae of some design. I think mosquitoes is the most likely. I lopped the top of this sort of little bush weedy thing, and I got an intense smell of aniseed. So I wonder if this is wild fennel or something like that. Any foodies, herbalists, gardeners out there able to recognise that? Let us know in the comments if you can. Or I'll ask my mate ChatGPT to find out. But yeah, it smells good. The heat had beaten me once again, and I decided to call it a day. But I wanted to just check on the hole I'd dug in the spring first before leaving. And I was pleased to see that the water had already started to clear, and a lot of the mosquito larvae had gone. So that was a good sign. I'll check it again in the morning when I return. So next morning I made a beeline for the hole in the spring, and I was pleased to see that the water had continued to clear. It was much clearer than the day before. However, there were a few mosquito larvae swimming around still. So, but I was quite encouraged by it, and I think if we were to open up the spring, dig it out a bit, and maybe even introduce, if there's no obvious flow, visible flow of water, then maybe introduce some sort of pump just to keep the water stirring around to help discourage the mosquitoes from laying eggs in it. When I got home last night, I loaded up the footage I'd taken, film, and I noticed from one of the drone shots there was like an open area in the reeds opposite to the area I was working in yesterday. I thought, oh, why is there no vegetation growing? So I thought I'd start off today having a look at that, and I've made it's a relatively narrow part of the reeds, so I've just made a track towards the rocks, and I've uncovered what I was looking at. And what it was is another spring, and the water here, well, for a start, it looks reasonably clear, which is a good start. I've got a frog sitting in it just down there enjoying himself. I don't see mosquito larvae swimming around. So again, no well, but a patch of nice clean water. So happy with that. I'll go and get the broom handle and have a depth test next. So a bit tricky doing this one-handed. Let's see, there's the mud. Okay, not very deep, and it feels pretty solid underneath. Trying other spots. Yeah, very solid underneath. Try a bit in the middle. Yeah, oh, and the frog. So not very deep. What's that, about 4 or 5 inches. Okay, so I think I'll go back to where I finished up yesterday and continue from there and keep working that corner and see if we can uncover anything in that end. I'm back at Camp Andrew for just a bit of a rest and a drink, and I just have a little think. And I've decided I'm going to stop searching for this mythical well for the time being. Not giving up, but I think there's a more sensible way of doing it. I'm making quite a lot of sort of damage to the reeds, obviously hacking away at them, and it's slow progress. I'm just not seeing any evidence, any clues to get my hopes up. So rather than just keep going at it willy-nilly in the hope that I stumble across this thing, I'll try to get in touch with the neighbours, previous owners, or people. There are local people who apparently know about the well, so I think it'd be more sensible, especially this time of year when it's so hot and difficult to work in. Probably cleverer, more sensible to tap into the local knowledge and see what they say, and then I can pinpoint and focus any more vegetation removal works in a more sensible way rather than sort of haphazard. I'm going to do that, but on a walk over to Camp Andrew, I don't know if you can see how green my strimmed field is looking, and that's not a good sign. That's the weeds growing back already. Now I knew they would grow back, be a bit silly not to expect that, but because it's we're getting into the height of summer now, it's hot and dry, I was hoping they'd grow a lot slower than they are doing. So give it another few days and I think it'll be back to how it was before I even started strimming. So all that work was in vain, I think, unfortunately. And I'm not just going to keep strimming away. So I'm going to have to have a change of strategy. So the new focus, I think, the new job will be to look at getting this line of shrubbery I want to take away and replace that, ideally with a dry stone wall or a wooden fence, whichever is the most practical way of doing it. And we'll have a gate down here, and then on the other side of the reeds, you won't be able to see it from here, likewise either a stone wall or a wooden fence going up the hill, the lane. So I think I need someone with a digger, with a bucket, to dig a trench for me along the fence route or the wall route. The neighbours up the hill got a dry stone wall put in. I quite like it, and I'd like the same along the roadside. So we need to try and find these neighbours. They're not here permanently, and they've only been here the one occasion that I've been working on the land. And when I'd finished my work, I walked up the hill to their hut to go and say hello to them. They'd gone, so I missed the opportunity. So yeah, I think that'll be the next project. So we can more or less fence the field in, hopefully find the well, and then think about the field. And the thought that's in my mind at the moment is, rather than strim the whole lot, we'll just do a relatively small section, work the land, plant something in it. That in itself will hopefully prevent a lot of the regrowth in that area. And then when we're ready, we'll strim the next section, and we'll do it in little plots rather than one big field. I think that would make more sense, and we can just let the bit that we're not working on, just let it go wild again until we're ready to work it. So that's what's swimming around in my head at the moment. I'm going to call it a day for now. We've not found the well, but the hunt still goes on. So I will resume it, but after speaking to the locals and pinpointing exactly where I should be focusing my search on, rather than just If you want to stay on the journey with me, please subscribe, hit the like button, and any comments, any advice, it'll all be gratefully received. So please leave those and I will most definitely respond to them. Until next time, we will see you again on Ladana Stand. Cheerio.